The 2025 MLB Draft has come and gone, and today we are going to go through the entire 2025 Boston Red Sox draft class, and I'm going to give grades for each pick. Before we get into that, though, grade the Red Sox draft as a whole for me. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm rather bullish on the draft. I think that they picked up a lot of very interesting prospects that I think that they can move and shake and make into potential big league contributors in the near future. But you let me know, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know your thoughts on the Red Sox draft as a whole in the comments down below. Now, they had 21 picks, so I'm going to go through them kind of quick. I'm not going to give a bunch of thoughts, but I'm going to give quick thoughts and give you my grades. So, Kyson Anderson goes number one, first round, 15th overall, the pitcher out of Oklahoma. I gave this an A. I think that he has incredibly high upside. He has some of the best traits that the Red Sox are looking for in their pitching system, and he has the potential, if he works out, to be a number two, number three starter in this rotation if all works out. He's going to need a little bit of refinement, but I think in Breslow and Bailey's system that he's going to get the refinement and structure that he needs. Marcus Phillips is the competitive balance pick that you got at number 33 overall. I gave this a C-. I feel like this was a bit of a reach. Marcus Phillips isn't a bad prospect whatsoever. I think he does need a little bit more development than a Kyson Witherspoon or some others need. But again, I think it was a reach. You probably could have gotten him a few rounds later. There were other prospects on the board that I liked more. So I give this a C- because I'm not as big of a fan of the pick where they picked and the pick in general at the end of round one. You get Henry Godbout, the shortstop from Virginia at 75 overall. I give this a B-. I like his traits. I was a little not as much of a fan at the pick yesterday in the video, but at the end of the day, I think that he's got interesting traits. The hit tool is something that I'm a big fan of. I think the power is okay as well. Overall, he grades out as a 50 grade player. Not the worst. I think there were other shortstop prospects in that area that I probably would have gone with, but this is a solid addition to the Red Sox farm system that is going to be helped throughout the next few years. A pick I really liked was Anthony Eyanson. I gave that an A-. I think that you got an absolute steal. He was ranked 40th overall in MLB Pipeline. You got him at 87. He's got really awesome stuff. He has exactly what the Red Sox are looking for in terms of traits, and I think that he can be a really tantalizing prospect in this Red Sox system. You get him with Breslow and Andrew Bailey. I think that this could be a potential very special prospect. And I think one of the steals of the draft overall. Let me know down below in the comments, because this is interesting, because we've been talking about this over the last few days. Do you trust Craig Breslow's vision for the Red Sox farm system? Because we learned that Craig Breslow has a type, a big SEC pitcher. He took a lot of them in this draft. And I think a lot of them, rightfully so, are good players. So you let me know. A, B, C, what am I talking about? Y for yes, N for no, excuse me. Do you trust Craig Breslow's vision? I actually do. If you look at his track record of trades and signings over the last few years, he's actually been pretty good. I know a lot of people want to crap on him, but he's actually been pretty solid. You just go back and look at his track record. So I trust his vision, but you let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Do you trust Craig Breslow's vision? In the fourth round, pick number 118, the first pick of day 2, the Red Sox go back to shortstop. They take Mason White, the shortstop out of Arizona. Now this, I am more of a fan of Mason White than I am Henry Godbout. I think it's better value. I think that he has more tantalizing tools. Godbout grades out higher now, but I think the potential of Mason White is greater. He needs to work on his hit tool. He has swing and miss concern, but he's got the raw power that if he adjusts his hit tool, he could turn into an absolute masher for the Red Sox. So I'm going to give this one a B. I gave Godbout a B-. I'm going to give this one a B. At the end of the day, I think it's better value, and I think that he probably has a higher upside than Godbout does at the end of the day. Christian Fauch, I talked about it in my short yesterday. I didn't like this pick. I gave it a D+. Everyone's going to say, Jack, blah, 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 blah. I had someone in my comments come at me and say he had a .81 ERA in the SEC last year. How does that not... Like, he basically was calling me crazy. And then I went and looked back at his baseball reference, and that was 2024. In 2025, he had an ERA of around 4. So the guy that commented that, you're wrong, I'm right. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't like this pick. I thought it was a reach. I don't love the traits. I think that he's got some potential, and maybe they can salvage, but I thought this was a huge reach at the time for the Boston Red Sox, and it was probably my least favorite pick of the entire draft. One of my favorite picks was Lehigh Finley, who is the pitcher from Georgia, who the Red Sox got at 178 overall. I really like Finley's traits. I think that the Red Sox got a really good one here. He is going to have the potential to, I think, rise pretty quickly and contend for the Major League roster probably within a year or so. I think that Breslow brought in a bunch of SEC guys and is going to see which ones stick. A lot of big SEC pitchers and see which ones turn out. And I think that Leighton Finley has one of the highest upsides in the entire draft of this Red Sox draft class, and he got an A in my book. We got another pitcher from the SEC, Miles Patton. He's going to get a B+, out of Texas A&M. I think he offers a lot of interesting intangibles. I think that he is going to be someone that Breslow is going to really try to mold, and if he works out, can be another really awesome option for the Red Sox. I mean, a lot of these guys have a lot of the same traits. I feel like I'm regurgitating the same words over and over again because Breslow picked a lot of the same type of pitcher that has the same type of traits that grades out the same way. Big, bulky SEC pitchers. So I feel like I am kind of saying the same thing. I would favor Lehigh Finley over Patton, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Dylan Brown, the pitcher from Old Dominion, at number 238 overall in round 8, B+. I like his stuff as well. I think that he might take a little bit more development than some of the others, but the upside is definitely there. I also think that this is a rather safe pick, so I'm bullish on him, but we'll see what happens. You know, you get into the 8th, 9th, 10th, the rest of these picks, they're dart throws. I think that you can never go wrong with more pitchers, especially if you like their traits. And Breslow obviously saw something in Dylan Brown, and he's going to get a B- in my book. We have been doing wall-to-wall coverage of the 2025 MLB Draft. We were live for round 1 on both our main chat sports channel and the Red Sox Rundown. I have been putting out shorts of my scouting reports for every single player in the Red Sox system that they drafted. I'm a little behind, so I'm still trying to put those out, but nonetheless, they will all go out within the next day. And then we had recap last night of round 1 yesterday, and then we're going to have grades of the rest of the draft today. This is why you subscribe. No one is putting out this much content around the Red Sox draft class than us here at the Red Sox Rundown. And this is the commitment you're going to get. Daily videos every single day. Don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button. Join the family today. I would really, really appreciate it. Jacob Myers goes number 268 overall. I love this guy's stuff. He's got an electric arsenal that I think is going to be really, really, really well utilized in the Red Sox system. And these LSU pitchers are dogs. And I think that Jacob Myers is just another instant upgrade to the Red Sox farm system. And I think that he's going to bring some really awesome stuff to the board. I gave this one an A-. I am a big fan of Jacob Myers. Maximus Martin, all-time name. If this was just names, it would be an A+. Maximus Martin, the infielder from Kansas State, went 298 overall in the 10th round. I actually gave this a C+, so I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't love his hit tool. I think his hit tool struggles. I think that There is a lack of a true defensive position. They list him, I believe, as a shortstop, but there's a little bit of an issue of where he's going to fit. I think he does have some defensive issues, and I think this is a case of a player that's not going to sign with the major league team and is going to go back to Kansas State. So I don't really like I like the idea of the pick. I would have liked to maybe do it a little bit later in the draft, but I do think that Maximus Martin is probably going to go back to college, and for that reason, I'm going to give this a C+. I also don't love all the traits. I don't like the hit tool as well. Barrett Morgan, the pitcher from Cali County Community College, goes in round 11, 328 overall. Another big-bodied pitcher. He projects more as a reliever than a starter, and he has the potential to be a closer in the game. Mid-90s fastball, impressive strikeout walk rates. This is everything that the Red Sox could ask for. I gave this one a B-. I think he has a little bit more development he has to do, especially on his off-speed pitches. He also needs to develop his fastball velo. But if he can do that, he projects to be a potential closer in the league, and that's a very tantalizing option for Craig Breslow. He gets a B- in my book. I gave Ethan Walker, the pitcher out of Kentucky, a B+. He's really good in terms of striking out batters. He has a fastball that tops in the low 90s, so I'd love to see a little more velo on his fastball. That's one of the issues that I have with him, but he complements that with a really solid changeup and curveball. So the arsenal is good enough to keep him afloat, that he does not need a fastball to dominate hitters. He's also got he's had good control over the last, few months, but he does have a history of a lack of control. So he's going to need to prove that the control is there to stay. And if it is, then he could be really good. He also has versatility. He's had experience as a starter and reliever. He might need to ramp up his ability to go longer into games. If he can't do that, then he's probably going to project more as a reliever. But I don't hate the pick at all. I give it a B+ in the 12th round. I think it's good value. I am on board. Jack Winay, the third baseman out of Wake Forest, goes number 388th overall in the 13th round. I gave this a C+ grade. This is one of those players where I'm not as bullish, and I'm going to tell you why. If power is your calling card, but your hit tool is not as good, I'm not going to favor you as much as someone with a better hit tool and less of a power tool. That's not to say that Winay is not a good player. He is really good in terms of raw power. He's got above average raw power. He does have a good eye at the plate, and he has some good defensive versatility as well. He's known as a very polished defender, but he does have issues with velocity. He does not have the highest hit tool in the book, and he does project as like a fringy fielder overall. I'm going to pump the brakes on him. I think that he has the potential to I think he has a high ceiling, but I do think his floor is low as well. I'm not as bullish on him as other people are. I give it a C+, but in the 13th round, we'll see how he projects at the end of the day. We've got 7 more picks to talk about, but before we do, who would you rather pick? If you're Craig Breslow, what would you rather prioritize in the draft? Pitchers or position players? What would you rather prioritize? Type 1 if you would prioritize pitching, or type 2 if you would prioritize position players. The reason I ask this is because in the 2 drafts that Craig Breslow has had as the chief baseball officer of the Boston Red Sox, I believe the number is 29 of his 41 picks have been on pitchers. So he has heavily favored pitching. So I want to know from you, 1 for pitchers, 2 for position players. What would you prioritize if you were leading the MLB draft? Round 14, pick 418, Carter Rasmussen out of Wolfold goes to the Boston Red Sox. I'm a fan of this one as well. I give it a B-. I think he's going to need to improve on his secondary pitches. They're there, and he strikes out pitchers. He's able to do strikeouts, but his fastball is his calling card, which can reach 97 miles an hour. He's got solid secondary pitches, but they do need improvement. That's why it's what did I give it? B-. That's why it's a B- than some of these others, and he does need to work on his command as well. So there is a lot of refinement and improvement that's going to be needed, but that 97-mile-an-hour fastball is very tantalizing. I know the Red Sox love people with high velocity that can get swing and miss, and I think Rasmussen does that, so it's going to be interesting to see how he turns out. Skylar King, the outfielder out of West Virginia, went in the 15th round, 448 overall. I gave this an A. I really like Skylar King, and to get him in the 15th round, that's, I think, in my opinion at least, a steal. His hit tool has gotten better over the years. He has significantly, and I mean significantly, improved and lowered both his whiff rate and his K rate over the last few years, which is very significant. His in-zone contact rate is around 90%. Now, that's not always going to be a hit. That can lead to outs and things like that, but he's putting the ball in play, and when you put the ball in play, good things happen. He's got also above average raw power. So not only is his hit tool continuously getting better, but his raw power is already seen as above average. He has not shown it fully in games yet, but if he can get that going, he could be a really lethal player. And on top of that, he's a good runner with good speed. I mean, this guy, projecting at least, could project to be like the complete package. He could be an absolutely lethal player in your system. He does have the tendency to chase out of the zone, so he's going to have to work on his plate vision a little bit. And he does pull the ball around 50% of the time, which isn't bad in any stretch of the imagination. And he's considered a competent fielder at best, not anything crazy, but he's probably going to need a few years of development to refine his skills. But the potential of this guy in the 15th round, he's one of my favorite picks of the entire draft for the Red Sox, so I give it a resounding A. Jason Gilman, the pitcher out of Keene University, goes in the 16th round, pick number 478. I give this one a C-. And the reason why is because this is a big swing from Breslow, and I don't know if it's going to work. He's got elite breaking ball spin, which is something that Breslow and Andrew Bailey absolutely love. And his control is considered his calling card. Like, he controls the zone incredibly well. But his fastball needs a lot of work. I don't know if this is a typo. I don't know if I read this incorrectly, but what I read was his fastball tops out at 84 miles an hour. If you're going to be a professional baseball player, an 84-mile-an-hour fastball just is not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. I think this is Craig Breslow's passion project. I legitimately do. I think this is Breslow's passion project. This is the guy he's going to try to mold into a bona fide stud. They obviously see something in him that is special. We'll see what happens. I still give it a C- because it is a high risk, potentially high reward pick. And again, it's the 16th round of the draft, so it is what it is, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Get back to me in a few years. We might be changing this grade in a few years. Patrick Gale, the pitcher out of Ole Miss, went in the 17th round, 508 overall. I give this one a C, mainly due to the fact that we just don't have a lot on him. He didn't have a lot of experience. He had some injury history that kind of helped him not really play. He didn't get a lot of time last year at Ole Miss. Like, his frame projects to be massive. Like, he's going to be a big guy, and he's got, the potential to have an elite fastball and a good curveball as well, but we just don't have a lot on him. He didn't get a lot of experience, and if he does sign with the Red Sox, this might be another player that doesn't sign and decides to go back to college. But if he signs with the Red Sox, this is going to be a multi-year type of development thing. I personally don't think he signs with Boston. I think he goes back to college for another year, but yeah, this one, I need more from him. I'm not convinced on him. So C grade is what it is. 17th round. It's a dart throw. It is what it is. Cade Fisher, the pitcher out of Auburn, another SEC pitcher. See, this is the theme. I give this one a B-. I really like his four pitch mix. All four pitches in general are solid. He's got a very effective fastball, his slider, and a curve and a change. Again, another big frame. He projects to be a beast on the mound, and he throws strikes consistently, which is something that I value a lot. But he has struggled with walks. He has struggled with hard contact, especially in 2024. That's going to need to get fixed, and he will need to develop his changeup a little bit more as well as working deeper into games if he wants to be a starter. The projection is there. I like his stuff, but we'll see what happens. This one, again, it's the 18th round. I give it a B-. I like the potential. We just got to see him do it more, and we got to see him do it more consistently. Fabian Bonilla, Christian Military Academy in Puerto Rico, goes in the 19th round, 568 overall. The lone prep prospect that the Red Sox took in this year's draft. I give it a C. He does have defensive versatility. He can play the outfield. He can play the corner infield. He has shown improved power over the past few years. He's very athletic, and he's got some interesting projection, but we just don't. He's a very unproven commodity. He's going to take years and years and years to develop. Now, maybe C's a little too harsh. It is the 19th round, and you're taking a dart throw on a prep prospect from Puerto Rico, but I don't see much here. We'll see. Again, this is another one in 4, 5, 6 years. Let's see where he's at. He might be the best prospect in the system, but it's going to take some time. So this one, there's just not a lot on him. I could barely find any notes on him. Like, there's just not a lot of scouting on him. So we'll see what happens. 19th round is what it is. I don't have any qualms with it at all. Grayson Sumner goes in round 20, pick number 598 overall, the pitcher out of BYU. I gave this one an A-. I like his stuff a lot. He's got a fastball with a lot of spin and life, and he's got a swing and miss heavy curveball. He's got a 1-2 punch that could, if they really refine it and fine tune it, could be absolutely lethal in the majors. Another big build. I think they're all big builds at this point. He's got big strikeout ability. He gets swing and miss, he gets whiff, and that's something that Breslow and the Sox really like. That's what they were prioritizing in this draft. He's also shown the ability to have great control of the zone. These are all traits that I really, really like. He's got to work on the consistency of his curveball, and he did have a relatively prolonged injury history as well. That's probably why he's dropped all the way down to the 20th round. But if he can stay healthy and you can, gain the consistency of that curveball and continue to refine that fastball, maybe add another pitch as well, this could be, again, another one of the steals of the draft. This is why I gave it an A-, because you're getting him an incredible value in the 20th round, and his projections are really impressive. So I like this pick a lot. I'm a big fan of it, and I think overall, just my overall thoughts, I think the Red Sox overall did a really good job. Like, I had 1 D grade, but I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 A- or higher grades. Like, I think Breslow came away with some really good value. I think it's a solid draft overall, and I'm very excited to see where some of these guys end up in the next few years. I'm going to ask you this question one more time. I asked it at the beginning of the video. If you're still here and you haven't answered it already, answer it for me now. Grade the Red Sox draft as a whole. A, B, C, D, or F. I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch the video. This is a bit of a longer one, but we had 21 picks to go through, and I wanted to give my thoughts on every single one of them. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you've not already. Join the family. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. And until next time, go Sox.